Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. It is April 14th, and right now we're looking at the visible/infrared satellite imagery. Here you can see the sun rising across North America out over the Pacific Ocean, where you can see our next storm system here looms across the Gulf of Alaska. Lots of cold air spilling off of Alaska, and this is eventually going to set up shop here across Pacific Northwest. But today should be a fairly dry day across much of the region here. Some high clouds are already moving towards western BC, and some precipitation will be coming in this evening and tonight, and eventually on in through tomorrow across much of the region. And then a stronger frontal system will move through the area Sunday. We'll take a look at those details, and we'll take a look at the extended forecast coming up here in a moment. This is looking at the visible satellite imagery a little closer. You can see some of those low clouds across southwest BC, western Washington, down through Portland here, but it is burning off quite nicely here. So we should get some decent sunshine across the region today, unless you're under one of these showers across northeast Washington, the Idaho Panhandle, and northwest Montana there. And this is also going to include some of eastern BC, but not a bad day out there today. Now, taking a look here, if you guys want a nice weather station, make sure to get that new checkout code Pacific NW. And this station is very nice, stores all your data in the cloud for you. It's all solar powered, lightning detection. It's got ultrasonic anemometer, UV, and solar radiation sensors up there are extremely accurate. I'm very impressed with this system. It's holding up quite well against professional weather station equipment there. So 10% off if you click on the link down below. This is looking at Seattle. Much of the month below average, just one day at average there on April 7th of 57. We are now at 59 degrees for the average high so far at this time of year. On April 18th, it becomes 60 degrees as the average high there, which actually sounds quite warm after what we've been going here through the last couple of months. Now, this is looking at Pendleton, Oregon. You can see it's going to be fairly warm actually through today and tomorrow before that frontal system starts to roll through Sunday, and we start to bring those lower snow levels down across the region here, and probably even lower than 2,000 feet in some areas. Nice graphic there from National Weather Service Pendleton. This is for Montana and central Idaho, and this is for this weekend here. Not too bad. Again, a lot of the highs are going to get up into the 60s. Boise might even get up towards 70 degrees here before this cold upper level trough starts to settle down across the Pacific Northwest here as we go on into early next week. And if you guys want to go to cocoraz.org, you can help gather weather information here and send it in. So yeah, cocoraz.org there. And you can check out what kind of equipment they recommend getting here so you can report your information accurately. This is again the NAM3KM composite reflectivity. This is what the Doppler radar may look like. You can see a couple showers popping up, nothing too extreme across Washington, Idaho, and Montana here, eastern BC, before that next system starts to make its way in tomorrow. Generally light precipitation with that, maybe some moderate rain across Vancouver Island there. And as that system goes through, you'll notice the stronger frontal systems start to move through on the day Sunday here, move across the Puget Sound. Some shower activity is going to be behind that, but there's also some thunderstorm chance probably going to exist mainly east of the Cascades as we go through the day and afternoon Sunday. Now, taking a look at this, so there may be a lenticular cloud chance across some of the Cascades today. You can see kind of this moist layer here at 18,000 feet. Mount Rainier would be about right here between the 700 and 500 millibar heights there. Pretty dry air here, but what you want with lenticular clouds is you want stable air and you want it moist, but you don't want it fully condensed. So what you want to happen is you want that wind to run into the terrain here and then lift it and then condense it. So you get those nice sculpted lenticular cloud formations across the higher terrain, and it makes them nice and visible, and you can get your cameras out and get some nice shots of some lenticular clouds out there. So we do have that chance today. As you can see, we do have that moist layer about 18,000 feet. However, it may only occur across some of the higher peaks, for example, such as Mount Rainier. Now, looking at the day one thunderstorm outlook, we talked a little bit about this instability across northeast Washington, Idaho, Montana. This would include eastern BC as well. And again, maybe on Sunday, we're going to have a thunderstorm chance also. Now, this is looking at Portland. You can see that maybe upper 50s, maybe as we go through tomorrow here, but then the cool down clearly showing up here as we go through early to mid this week. Now, looking at Seattle, you can see that cold upper level trough as well. This is looking a little bit further out. So by the time we get towards the end of next week, we have a chance to start warming up a little bit here, but this signal is muddy here. You can see there's great variation in these temperatures here. So yeah, nothing to hang your hat on just yet, but hope always is out there in the extended forecast, isn't it? This is looking at Boise. Check it out. Upper 60s, maybe towards 70 degrees here as we go through Sunday. So some areas down in the valleys there of eastern Oregon, down in through Idaho. Not too bad of a day coming up here Sunday before that upper level trough starts to make its way into the area early next week. This is looking at the European on the left, the GFS on the right. So here we have Alaska, Washington, Oregon there. This is up towards 18,000 feet. So here we're going with Saturday. Not too bad of a day, especially east of the Cascades. We go through tomorrow. Then this trough brings the frontal system on through Sunday. And then we've got this cold air aloft just kind of hanging across the region here. Good agreement between the GFS and the European. And of course, the further we go out, we start to see some differences showing up in this trough location. But generally agreed upon that we're going to remain below average here across Pacific Northwest as we go through next week at least. Now taking a look at the European. Last night's run, 6-hour precipitation total, put it into motion. You can see Western BC gets the precip first later tonight, starts to move across Vancouver Island, and it starts to move in. The precip's going to be pretty light tomorrow for the most part across, for example, Southwest BC, Washington. And then the frontal system starts to swing through on the day Sunday. A little bit better chance for some moderate precipitation across the area there. It kicks on through, and you can see the cold, low, and the upper levels of the atmosphere here moving through the area. Some showery precipitation as we go on in through Monday coming up here. And just so you can see the chilly aspect to this system here as it's bringing precipitation all the way down towards California here. Cold upper level low. There might even be some thunderstorm chances with this as we go on in through next week also. This is 6 to 10 day temperature probability, and you can see the bullseye just picking on us here across Pacific Northwest. 8 to 14 day, not much is changing there as much of the west is below average all the way through April 27th. This is something I showed yesterday as well, and you can see these chances for El Nino. By the time we get to June, we're at over 60% chance for El Nino here, and by the time we get off into August, September, October, November, we're getting up towards 90% chance for El Nino as we go through this winter season here coming up. And some of the models are pointing at a fairly robust El Nino occurring moderate or greater. Some of the models are showing a strong El Nino as well. This is looking at the sea surface temperatures here. We go through late February, March. You can see the running timeline there, and you can clearly see the warm-up that's been occurring off the coast of South America, off across the equatorial Pacific. You can see the greens and the cooler water here marking those La Nina conditions just being wiped out here as we go through February and now into March. Pretty impressive warm-up going on here. So high confidence for El Nino coming up as we go towards the end of this year. And what this is going to mean is that next spring, or at least next January, February, March, and April, we have much better chances than normal here for being above average across Pacific Northwest temperature-wise. The last two springs have been really chilly here, and that's likely to change as we go on in towards the year 2024 coming up. That's way out there, of course, and there's no promises, but it's something that we'll be watching here over the next few months. So, yeah, we're going to remain chilly and cool here across Pacific Northwest once we get into later this weekend on into next week. So, yeah, we've been below average much of the month so far, and we're likely to continue that here. But get out there and enjoy today if you can. There's some nice sunshine to be had out there across some of the Seattle Metro, down through Southwest BC, down through the Willamette Valley as well, before this next system starts to bring some rain tomorrow, then a frontal system Sunday, and then that cool trough settles over the region. So anyway, I hope you guys are liking these videos, or get one of those weather stations if you guys really want to start checking out your weather. It's a great app too. It hooks up with your smartphone and everything, and it gives you a notification, for example, when lightning happens or when it starts raining at your house. And there's a map that you can go to that shows all the other people around you with these types of weather stations. They talk to each other. There's smart integration. So highly recommend that station. Click on the link down below for 10% off. But yeah, we'll do this again tomorrow. We'll check out this frontal system. We'll watch out for thunderstorm chances coming up here. I may go out and try to shoot some lenticular clouds across the region today. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, yeah, click like and subscribe, and we'll do this again tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys then.